Good evening, YouTube. Woohoo! Thanks for dialing in tonight, guys. Really appreciate it. You can see there what's on the agenda for this evening. Little Oktoberfest. Yum, yum, yum. We are a couple in. We got here a little early. Why is this doing this again? I tell you, I have the worst.
Worst time.
Oh, you know why? Because
you need to log in.
I always do it the wrong way. Sorry, a little bit of silence there. Just getting everything squared up. There we go. What's up, Steph? Welcome. Mike, welcome. Looks like Matt's beat me to most of this. Mark, what's going on? Molina's Animals, welcome. Hello. Wise Constrictors, welcome this evening. Appreciate it. Tonight won't be too crazy. Like the pairing said, I have an Enchi clown, female, a first-year girl. She was like 16 months when she laid the clutch. She just was huge, and I was back and forth whether I should even pair her or not. And when she was 2,000 grams, so I just threw my hands up and I did it anyway. And we've got 7 great eggs from her. They look fantastic. They're a hair small, even though she was 2,000 grams when she laid. And currently sitting at about 1,500 grams post eggs in 2 meals or 3 meals. So she didn't really lose a lot. The eggs were just small. And she looks great. She's eating, so we're on a great track to get her back. While we're talking, well, you saw that little Oktoberfest this evening. Great color, a lot of caramel notes in there.
Very good beer.
Becky's. Yeah, it actually is a very good October.
I'm actually gonna let you guys kind of focus in on the beer and the eggs here for a second, because I gotta grab my beer.
And I'm going to pull this girl out so you guys can take a look.
Actually, can I get like a nice image of her like that? There we go.
So this is Mom. She's an Enchi clown.
Yeah, she's a squirmer.
Yeah, she is right now.
What's up, KB?
But she's not loaded up with weight yet. But again, she's about 3 meals eaten from laying eggs or so. She was a total chow hound, so I'm fully expecting that to come back, and she's just going to start eating once she really settles in. But she is eating. She's starting to put some weight on, and again, 1,500 grams at this point, which is pretty good. She was a little over 2,000 when she laid eggs. I forget what she was, like 16 months or something like that. She was like a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah,
but she just exploded in weight and growth. Never hit the wall. Ate like mad. So we put a male to her, and we made some double hets, which we're going to cut tonight. So the best thing we'll see visually is Enchi. The eggs will be het for clown, het for lavender, and they will be 50% het for SK exanthic. So possible triples on some, which will be really neat to have in the collection.
Oh, yeah.
And then Pops is a little guy. This is a Albino. So that's a single gene animal. Lavender albino is a recessive gene. And he is 100% het for SK exanthic. Come on. Why do they want to run? Is it the stainless? They like the stainless?
He wants the beer.
Yeah, he wants beer.
He's got kids on the way. He needs beer.
Yeah. So that's Dad. And he looks great. Very banana-ish in color, like with the purples and the yellows, some oranges. I mean, he really does look nice.
Yeah, he glows.
And he's held on to the purple really well. So I'm excited to have him and to be able to work I don't know, with whatever polygenic traits he has. And all that means is that's the visual component of genetics that you see. So you have a part of genetics that are genetic based. It's like mathematical based that they'll pass on. And then you have the visual component, which is the polygenics that's passed on. So if you have a dark animal, it's whatever gene it is, tends to pass on that darkness to the other babies it has. So I'm hoping that, you know, he's polygenic to really have this punch of color in that purple, because he's an adult. He's been around for a minute.
Yeah, he's got really great contrast, but when you add leopard into that lavender albino, that is some crazy contrast. And speaking of one of those,
that's basically the same. She's got some chip on her, but that's basically the same animal, but with the leopard gene. So the leopard gene is a pattern mutation, so it messes with the pattern, and is a very dark gene, so it tends to make the contrast between these colors just really, really strong.
There she is.
Yeah, she's got a little chip on her.
Yeah, a little dirty.
Chip dust.
Yeah, that thing, she glows. She's gonna make it into the breeding program this year.
I hope so. If she keeps eating, we'll be good. So I want to pull just a couple of the babies from before, from some of the other clutches, and show those to you guys, and then we'll get into cutting some eggs. So I mean, this live stream won't be that long. I have like 7 eggs to cut, but I do want to show you just a couple animals. So hold on.
Yeah, this boy.
This guy just keeps getting crazy. He's only got a shed or 2 on him. I don't even think 2. I think just one shed.
Just one, yeah.
And the colors just keep getting more yellow, and like down by the bottom here, it's starting to really get saturated. Just really nice lines. The pattern is crazy. This guy is a pastel leopard spider yellow belly. There are, well, with the leopard, he is also, there's that head. There comes that head. Look at that.
There it
That's
is.
just insane. And there's a possible chance that he's het for pied. I haven't, I'm going to just flip him over real quick.
See if he's got tracks.
Yeah, he's pretty light for pattern on the bottom, so it's kind of hard to tell.
It's just all speckles everywhere.
Yeah, if they'll carry the pied gene. But, you know, the more saturated it gets, I mean, he just keeps looking great. I just think I want to keep him, but I don't need him.
And this boy's a chow hound. He was in full out, or one day out, not even a day out of the egg, and he took food.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah, and the spiders from this clutch, there are 3 of them. They're all pretty solid. I've not noticed really any like jittery, any with that wobble stuff. They all seem pretty solid. They don't get like crazy when you put food items in. So seems like a good spider clutch so far.
Welcome, James. Haven't missed too much. We just showed Mom and Dad. Mom was the Enchi clown. Dad is the lavender albino, 100% het for SK Xanthic. And now we're just showing off a couple babies.
So we did finally make the decision on the puzzle stuff, as far as what we're keeping and what we're getting rid of, and based on the quality of the animals and, you know, what we'd like to see in our collection and how it grows, we are holding the 2 puzzles, so male and female, and this pastel puzzle male is going to be available. He had his last meal yesterday, with no refusal, so that he's good to go.
Yep.
So I think we posted him up. You posted him up today?
Yeah, he's up on Morph Market.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So he's on Morph Market and stuff. So yeah, don't get no ideas here.
These feisty little guys.
Yep. So great head patterns and stuff. Those fat eye stripes are just nuts. So he is available. He's on Morph. He is on all the socials and stuff, and he looks good. This one.
It did a shed. Woo! It did.
Finally, just shed. Here's another one. This is from the mini clutch. That is a an pastel leopard ivory that is 66% het for pied. That is a boy, and he is available. Let's turn him around so you see more of that crazy color starting to come in. He just looks really, really good.
Bring your head out there a little bit. There you go. Yeah, he looked really good.
Well, we won't delay the process anymore, I don't think. That kind of covers the basis as far as the parents and just a couple other things that are going on here, which are kind of exciting. The next cutting that we will do is Friday, this coming Friday. And that is the mystery clutch, if you will. So a cinnamon spider female from Ben Rennick to my resurrection gene, as I've been calling it. I'm keeping it hush-hush until I can get far enough ahead. But I will show you the results of that clutch. We're just not going to give you the name of what it is.
What's in it,
until
right?
we can get working with it. But this is the clutch here. Matt kind of showed you before. We got 7 eggs. They're a little bit small. You can see them there, a little tiny. But, you know, they look good. They're healthy. They've done well. They've sunken down a fair bit. So today is day 55 for them. So we're going to go ahead and cut and see what we get. So the best I can do is an Enchi visually. But the power in these guys are going to be in the double recessive, possible triple recessive that's going to be in the background. So when we start working that stuff around to other stuff, we'll just be craziness. So here we go. All Enchis.
I know, right?
Well, that looks like an Enchi.
Yeah, looks like it's got...
Well,
hard to
maybe
tell.
not. It's hard to tell. It's very banded, but maybe not. Again, worst case, it's a double het for clown and lavender albino.
Triple het.
Yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself. I get a little excited.
You pulled me that I did on a video a little while ago.
I'm pulling a Matt Thomas. Can't help it. I usually have all this other crap out of here too. All right. Now we're ready. Put the little divots in there like Matt does so it doesn't move. Yeah, that's a normal.
Oh, yeah. You can see it now.
Yep. He turned enough.
I'll let you guys see. Next egg.
That's an Enchi.
Oh, for sure. Look at the color, too.
That's a crazy Enchi. It's got flaming and everything. It almost looks like there's something else there, but...
That could be those double hets really affecting
well,
it.
that's about the only thing that... I mean, you've seen the other animals, so there's not much choices for what else there could be there. It's just really Enchi. But that's exciting because that's a holdback, because I need a boy and a girl. And I wouldn't mind having Enchi in both, to be honest, because then it's, you know, super Enchi grails, which would just be...
out of this world.
Again, this is a building for the future clutch.
It's like another
Enchi? Yeah, that's another Enchi.
Woo!
Getting so excited, I'm dropping eggs. Look at the color and the pattern.
Wow, you're dropping eggs. Ooh,
yeah, that looks good. Look at the pattern on the where the eye stripe comes up on the nose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, so there's the 2 holdbacks. So I'm good.
Oh.
Money.
As long as it's a boy and a girl.
Well, true. Yeah, we still got to get the sexes out of it. Yeah, fair enough.
Another Enchi.
Yeah, baby. Enchi is strong. I like it.
Yeah, watch. Now, what your luck will be like they're all female or all boys.
Yeah, I know, right? They'll all be males. Yeah, whatever. I'll keep one. Because this year we definitely have at least another pairing that will also work with this. So
right.
That's going to be fine. How about another Enchi for the books?
Nice, dude. The Enchi is strong in that one.
Yeah.
Mama's passing her genes on pretty good.
Yeah, I'm good with that. A little bit of yolk in there, but not anything like yesterday's. Yesterday was well, not yesterday's, but Saturday's was strange. I really think it has to do with the placement of that bin, where it was in the incubator, because
it was lower in the incubator.
Yeah, I mean we're still checking on them. They're still in the egg, and normally they would be out by now, but I haven't really seen yolk in there. I haven't really messed with them. I just kind of like opened the lid and looked. But, you know, the yolk is gone. It's just, that was just strange because they looked like they were
ready,
like a week too early.
Yeah.
Kind of, even though
the
ticker was right, you know. But they're healthy. They look fine. They're all doing well. That's a normal. Which is not really normal.
Nope. Double hit.
Because it is a
Pos
double
triple.
Hit. Yeah.
And the final one, I'm going to bet Enchi.
Yeah, but see, like you look at this, look at the blushing in the flames there.
It'd just be
right?
a high quality.
And then you look at that's an Enchi too, but it doesn't have the flames and all the blushing. And here's one that has, it's like kind of middle of the road. It's kind of, there's some flames, there's a little bit of blushing. I just not known Enchi to do that, and I don't have.
Maybe that one hit all 3. Has all 3 doubles in it.
Well, good point.
Or
that could be the het influence, having that third het in there, maybe.
Yeah.
And with that being xanthic, that's a good point, because they'll say sometimes that the hets will influence the color. So like with ghost or hypo. If they're a het, a lot of times they look a little like dusky. They'll have almost the influence from the hypo or ghost in them. So that may be a good point, because that is xanthic. It may be starting to show some of that. Well, that one will stay here.
Yeah, we will find out down the road for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Another Enchi, right?
Yeah.
Woo!
Another Enchi.
Not
dude,
bad.
That's like money. That's what?
5 Enchi.
5 Enchis out of 7 eggs. Like, it can't get any better than that. Like, it's just dumb.
Now you have
so
choice.
You have, yeah. And here's another one. And then the one I just cut.
Yep, that one doesn't have all that flaming
it doesn't have the flaming either, but these two do.
Yep.
So this one's got, like, blushing and flaming on there. And that one is just, like,
so now
like crazy insane.
Those 2 are a boy and a girl.
Yeah, for sure, because, I mean, if they're 2 girls, they'll probably stay.
Just because of how good they
boys,
look.
I'm only going to need 1, but I don't know. Oh, I'm excited.
But could you imagine
it's just
clown
nice.
lavender snow?
No. Well, I mean,
that's crazy.
It's something that, like, I've seen snows, so just the albino xanthic, and they have some color. They look, there's some pattern there. They look okay.
But nothing like the lavender snows.
Right. They don't really like get me fired up. But the lavender stuff has even a little more pattern in them, so that it's a little more contrast, which looks great. And if you can start manipulating that with like other genes, like leopard with clown, and like, I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I'm sold. I'm done. So I'm very excited. This is like amazing odds. So, so for the people that really don't know like the genetics and how they work all that much, um, a visual. So you have incomplete dominance, you have dominant genes, and then you have recessive genes. At least on a high level.
Okay.
Recessives, if you pair something that has a recessive in the background to one that has a recessive in the background, on average, you have a 25% chance of that showing up in an egg, not counting any other genes in the works. When you start talking about the dominant and incomplete dominant, as far as those genes showing up, it's about 50% chance for that to show up. The only difference in those genes is the dominance. If you get 2 copies of that gene in an animal, there's very, very little that distinguishes that animal from a single copy. In an incomplete dominant, you get a 50% chance of that carrying through to babies, but when you layer a second copy on top, it typically blows the animal up to like crazy.
The super form.
The super form. So I'm going to show you guys that right now, just so that a little education session here. And probably one of the simplest and oldest runs of that. So this is a boy. This is a yellow belly. So yellow belly is incomplete dominant. He happens to carry the gene for tri-stripe. What? Tri-stripe. Yep, that's beer and Kraken talking. And tri-stripe, I will have my first run this year at producing that across 2 different girls. So hopefully we'll get 2 clutches, and that'll be another conversation we can do. But this is a yellow belly. So this is copy 1, yellow belly. So if I take
and stack that yellow belly with another yellow belly.
Yep. So if I take 2 copies of that and put it, and they both show up on one animal, this is what happens. You blow the lid off the animal. So incomplete dominant, 1 copy, 2 copies. You have a total paradigm shift of what the animal looks like. If this was a dominant gene, you could have 1 and 2 copies. They're almost going to look the same. The difference is when this one breeds, it's going to give a copy to every animal, and every animal will have a gene there.
You're talking about from the super form? Is that what you're talking about? Like, so that's what you're talking about, is doing from a super form to one that doesn't carry that gene.
No, it doesn't matter what's...
No.
Simplistically,
yep.
When you breed a super form, it's going to give a copy to every animal.
Right.
So, regardless, animals give 2 genes. They have 2 genes. They can give one or they give another. If they're both the same, it don't matter which one they give. Every baby's going to get a copy. Right. So a dominant gene, if it's a super, you can't tell visually by looking most of the time. But when it breeds, it's going to give a copy to every animal, just like just like the incomplete does. Like
we were talking about with our super pin, or possible super pin that we have. Yep.
The only way to know
is to breed
it, and probably at least a few times, because you could have a chance where you get really lucky, like the mini clutch this year. The mini clutch this year, I got crazy lucky with pastel. So as far as I know, I only have pastel on the male side of that pairing, and every animal in that clutch, all 8 eggs, had pastel. It's the odds of that happening is probably as great as hitting a normal in that clutch. But it could happen. So the same thing. You get that dominant animal, and and you suspect maybe because it looks funky that all the animals are going to have, you breed it and they all have the same gene. Did you get lucky like I did over here? Or
was it carrying
it dominant? Like you won't. You're going to have to. There's specific things you would breed to and stuff to figure it out. But
anybody on the other side have any questions or anything they want to see, any topics you want to talk about.
I can't believe I got 5 inches.
No problem, WizCon. It's fun being able to kind of explain this stuff to where it's a little bit more understandable.
Enchi.
James wants to see more leopard stuff.
All right.
We got some leopard stuff.
Let's see what's left over.
Do we have anything? We don't have anything up there, right? Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. The camera's probably gonna shake.
God bless you.
Thank you. That made that go away.
I don't know if you was here for the beginning, so you didn't get to see these. So this one's in full shed. This one just shed. And this is a pastel leopard yellow belly. These are all 66% het for pied. They all have leopard.
I don't think we have anything other than the spider stuff, right?
And there's a couple pastel leopards.
So this, as you can tell, this has got some crazy looking pattern compared to this one. So these two, the two that I just showed you, this one here and this one here, are from the same clutch, but it was a dual sired clutch. So we have one male leopard that's got some crazy leopard pattern, and we have another one that's got a more tame, for say, leopard pattern.
Yeah, a little normalish and wackadoodle.
So as you can see, there's
the hieroglyphic leopard and the American leopard. Here we have a leopard spider female. She's staying here. She's in full shed. Otherwise, she looks a little bit better.
She's a little feisty too.
This guy here is a pastel leopard spider yellow belly, and his color and saturation is just getting stupid. We looked at him a little bit earlier. Yeah, they're all starting to size me up. And then the two guys in the middle here, these are the pastel leopard ivories, and they are 66% het for pied.
Yeah, look this way. Look this way. Yep.
You told me to.
Yep, focus on the camera. Not on Jim. That's like the whole spider, or the whole puzzle clutch.
That's 2 clutches. That's my first 2 clutches. So there's a lot of not spider, but a lot of leopard that was pushed around this season. I think I had leopard going to on the neighborhood of like 5 or 6 girls, and only like 2 of them went.
Yeah, so this one here, this is a leopard spider, so you can see what the leopard spider does together. And yeah, the yellow belly is what's causing a lot more of that.
And the pastel are just amping the crap out of that.
Well, the flecking.
Oh yeah,
at the bottom, right?
Yeah, when you look at the bottom, how that bottom just like is really broken up. That's all yellow belly doing that.
Yeah.
Where if you look at this one, thank you.
Love
taps. There's some stuff there. Yeah, they just ate today, so I'm not going to mess with them too much. But just to show you, they got some spots, but not nearly the same
as much as that one.
As that one there. So, yeah, definitely a crazy animal. And the more I look at him, the more I want to keep him. But I mean, Dad was a pastel leopard yellow belly that produced him. So it's really, I just don't know if I want a male with spider that's gonna, throw spider around, or maybe I just keep him as a pet. I don't know. But even this, you look at this guy here, the color saturation is
You're gonna
crazy.
lose a finger there. Yeah, put you back, a little feisty one. She doesn't want to play well with others.
Yeah, she's stressing out.
Yeah, leopard, spider, and pinstripe is you know, all cool genes to work with. We have all three of those in house. I actually have a black pastel pinstripe that should be going through an ovulation soon.
Yeah, we can show the. Well, I've not really shown her a whole lot.
The crazy pin
No, the blue-eyed that I think.
might be super
Well,
pin.
it has pin. So we'll see. We can look at that, and you know what? That'd be cool. We could maybe pull out the black light. See if we can get some of the black light going.
We could try.
Yeah, why not? I don't know if they're into it.
You guys want to see a snake under black light to see if you can see the pinstripe down the back? She isn't in shed or anything, right?
No, it doesn't look like it. Eyes are as blue can be.
Mike says yes.
All right, we'll try it. We'll see what happens. So this is a another one of those super forms. So there's a Mojave gene. When you put, she's again got cocoa peat all over her. You put two of the Mojave genes together, it makes an all-white snake.
And then you get those
But
crazy...
typically the head has like this crazy gray markings.
If she would sit still long enough.
And she doesn't have that. And you can see those eyes are just ridiculous.
Yeah, those blue eyes. They're like, it's like a silvery blue.
Yeah, and into the naked eye, there's a little bit of a shadow of a pattern, which I think will be pinstripe. Can you wrangle her, or do you want to fetch the...
We can do this. I can
black
fetch the
light.
stuff. You keep her there, and then
Yeah.
we can still look at her.
So, I tried to blacklight this girl when she was really young, and it didn't work very well. I don't know if it just takes some age for the other patterns to kind of show through, but we'll take a look and see if it's any better at this point. But I can see it. You can unplug the...
Already did.
Yeah.
We gotta kill some of the lights here. Going dark.
Yep. Going dark. There we go. So I don't know what that looks like. All right, so you can still kind of see her there, and we still got some light. We'll have Matt work that, and I'll wrangle her to see what we can see.
There you go.
Some of the striping just showing up like crazy on the back.
Get in a little close. You see that stripe going down the back?
Yeah, yeah. So, and again, I've not made one of these before. I don't know if she has pin. I presume she has something else because she doesn't have like the crazy gray head. And usually with a change in what they're typical known for when those genes show up, it's because something else is there. So the only other things that could be there is one or two copies of the pinstripe.
See if we can look at her head, see if we get anything over there. Not much there. But yeah, that pinstripe is definitely very...
Well, there is a stripe there, and I just don't know if that's from the two copies or if that is actually pinstripe putting that in there. And again, depending on what the supers are, depending on, you know, what's in the background, all determines what's going to show up on the black light. This is the only animal that we've really produced where we could try that with. We did have a sister to this girl that was sold at a young age, so we didn't really have a great opportunity to work with her and try to figure that out. But she's cool. She looks good. She's relatively young, so I don't know if she'll hit weight. She's like 1,200 grams. She'll be 2 years old come next month. So
she might get there if she can. If she eats.
If she's been one of those. She eats, but then she doesn't eat a lot, and then she doesn't eat, and then she eats. So we'll see what she does. Now, if you want to look at those eyes, she's kind of hanging out. They're just like this crazy blue silver.
There we go. Crazy.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, nifty little tricks of the trade.
Yeah, this girl just shed, so she looks like ridiculous.
Black pastel, leopard
Black
yellow.
pastel, leopard. Here's another leopard for you, James. Black pastel, leopard, yellow belly. And the yellow belly component is kind of calculated because in the same clutch we did produce black pastel yellow bellies that were like distinct.
Right.
And this one was very, very, very different. So there's definitely a little bit more going on here than just the leopard and the black pastel.
You want to pull out the quad from over there?
Yeah. Oh, so the sister?
Yeah. And pull out the other one too, above.
So same clutch. This is a pastel leopard yellow belly Enchi.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is like polygenics at work. And I'll say that for this reason here.
And show Dad.
Yeah. So Dad looks like he's about to go into shed because he don't look like he normally does.
Yeah, he looks a little dark.
But this is also a pastel leopard Enchi yellow belly. Now, granted, he's much older. And when he was younger, he had better color, but never had that saturation. That dark contrast that she's putting in, I believe, is the polygenic component from the massive black pastel girl that produced her last year. And then there's...
Like, I really haven't paid attention to them when feeding them, but man, have they gotten big.
Yeah. And then this girl here, that's what we believe to be the whole deal. So pastel, black pastel, leopard, Enchi,
yellow belly,
and then there's a chance for pied in this one, and he is 100% het.
Yeah, so all these three here came from him.
So again, like knowing he's 100%, he's proven, there's really no tracks there. So sometimes
they don't show up.
They don't show the tracks on the belly, depending on how many genes are involved with the animal that you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the breedings with these two.
A little bit of stuck shed.
Yeah, a little bit got stuck. We'll wipe her down in a little bit.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little cool to leave windows open here.
Yeah.
So I haven't had the windows open, so the humidity is changing in the room.
Yep. Yeah, throwing OD in there would definitely look good, but I have plans.
OD on that would be nuts.
I have plans to throw puzzle
at it and make a bunch of really cool comboed hets. So, yeah, she just looks crazy.
Hey, LKB, welcome. Is this the siblings to the leopard I bought a while back? No, though you bought. Did you buy 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was the previous years.
Yeah, those were last year's. In relation to the cutting on Saturday, this is I don't know if it's a sister, but we bought her at the same time that we bought the male that produced that clutch. So this is a Spider Kelly SK Exanthic. So this one is lacking the pastel, but almost essentially the same animal. She's looked like this her whole life. So she's not changed at all. She's always had this silver tone.
Yep.
The male,
pain in the butt feeder though.
that produced it is in shed, unfortunately, but
he looks ghostish.
This guy here is definitely different, higher white, and started off all white.
Right.
So when he got here, there was no dark pattern on him at all. It was the black spider, solid white contrast. The white went all the way over, and about what 8 months, a year, he started
Started
developing
developing,
color
yeah.
with sheds, and over a 6 month period of time, basically turned. He's even darker than she is.
Oh
Where
yeah.
she has that little brown tinge. So I don't know if that's something with spider that does that. Which again, with this scenario, I kind of think it doesn't, because she showed up the same and has remained the same, and she has a spider. The only difference is pastel.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, I think John from JD Constriction had something similar in his collection that created the Stormtrooper, and he also thought that had something to do with the pastel. So that's kind of where I'm leaning with this as well. So we'll see what happens. It definitely didn't Stormtrooper out. It's kind of stopped now. It's not really doing the same thing, but yeah, he looks so.
But actually, if you want
in shed, it looks good.
to keep those two there while we're on the Exanthic thing, we'll just throw another Exanthic next to it and just show the Exanthic stuff.
We can still show the Exanthic stuff. It just has nothing to do with
The Kelly gene,
stuff.
right?
See, now that I see him in shed like that, I love the way that looks.
Oh yeah, where it's like ghostish look.
We have
Yeah.
to work the ghost stuff into that, and do the double het Exanthic ghost.
So this nothing to do with the Kelly, but Exanthic stuff. This is our Firefly Yellow Belly Exanthic.
And she's a last year. She's a July of last year. So she just passed a year's time not too long ago. And in the beginning of August, she was about 900 grams. She's probably about 1,000, 1,100 right now.
Yeah, she just eats like a weed. Eats like a weed, grows like a weed.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen a weed eat. Eat your Wheaties.
Right. Yeah, she's
got
awesome.
like the eyes look pretty cool. You still got some like blue, and I don't know if that's just the way the light refracts in there or whatever, but still looks good. So pastel fire is critical for good definition, contrast in an Exanthic, in my opinion. I would love to see the Kelly in here to clean up the remaining bits of the speckle. Enchi would probably do something similar, but it looks so good.
Wisconsin was like, I always thought weed made you eat.
Eat your Wheaties. You're a weed eater.
Oh yeah, she's cool. She does not. Oh yeah, we could put them side by side. Her side by side with Dad.
Yeah. So this is like something interesting that's kind of gone on with this pairing, and it may be nothing. We don't really know yet. But that's a girl that was produced.
So this is a jigsaw.
This is September of 17. So she's 2 years old. That's a jigsaw for sure.
Yep.
And I wonder if he finished shedding. Yeah, he's good.
So the guy that we're bringing out is Dad.
So, and this is a typical classic
Jigsaw.
And by all intents and purposes, she is now an adult at 2 years old.
And looks nothing like Dad.
There's a clear difference here. I mean, terribly clear difference. And it wasn't like the whole clutch was different. There's only a couple animals that were clearly different. So this guy went to another jigsaw female. It produced the white girl that we looked at just earlier and we blacklighted. And then this girl, and then I have a pinstripe that I kept from that clutch, which I'll show you.
Yeah, and this pairing that created, that she came from.
Wow, dude, you're like saying things backwards, and you've hardly drank anything.
Right. That was to the black pastel, right? Yeah.
No, these both were.
Oh, one was to the jigsaw. The other one was to another pairing.
This pairing is jigsaw to jigsaw.
No, because I wouldn't have one because the jigsaw is not mine. This was Jigsaw to Black Pastel.
Oh, you know what? You are right.
Yeah.
You are correct. So this girl is a pinstripe. Again, to the best that I can tell.
This one was
2 years old, but I've never seen a pinstripe with no connecting lines anywhere on either side. And that has that much color saturation in her. Most of them are pretty brown. She's very, very golden. And what's nice to look at them now is they're massive, number one. And they're adults. So this is their color. You know, granted, if they, at 7 or 8 years old, they may, lose some color, but, this is what we get to look at for a long time coming. Both produce from this guy.
So we were sitting there thinking super pin with this one, but this one came from the Black Pastel.
See, no.
Because you kept one from the Black Pastel girl.
No, it's not. No, she's Jigsaw.
So, you sold the one from that you kept from that clutch. That's right.
Correct. So it is two pairings.
Yep.
Dad went to a Jigsaw, produced her.
Yep.
Dad went to the Black Pastel and produced her.
And
the one, because we do our, so Matt and I have separate animals, and basically what we do for our breeding loans, if you will, if it's all based around the male. So if I want to use one of his males on one of my females to get some of those genes over, because I've invested in the girl, I've taken so long to grow her up, and you get limited eggs, I get the first choice out of that clutch because it was his male, and it took up, because mostly all you're going to get is like 5 pairings or 5 girls to a guy, unless you're really good and you got ultrasound. If you have the male that's putting in there, you get the second choice animal, and then after that, everything else goes back to the female owner. So in this situation, the female that I had from this clutch from him, I thought was it was a combo that turned out not to be, and I ended up I sold her. So I don't have the one that I kept from that clutch. This one did come from him. So I do think that this girl is very different. Is that reduction super pin? I don't know. She has locked. She has locks, and she's still locking right now, and eating like a champ with an OD fire. So we'll see if she goes. We last ultrasounded a couple weeks ago, and she was 20 centimeters. What is going on?
James is like, "Hey Matt, can I borrow a male?"
Yeah.
Which one are you looking to borrow, James? Yeah, she's thick though.
No clear signs, but she is. There's a little bulge there, but she's eating. So
yeah.
Hopefully she'll go off food here shortly. And
hey, where are you going? Get back here. What do I have?
And that just works. That kind of agreement works easy with us because everything lives here. If I had to send one of my females to somebody that had a male so he could still use his male on other stuff, I don't know that agreement would work out so well because he's got to feed her.
Right.
He's going to house her. She's going to take up a slot for, pretty much like 9 months, essentially. And when she's fully gravid, about to lay, are you going to ship her back? Nope. That person is probably going to have her for a whole year. The eggs are going to drop. So that probably just wouldn't work out for, the typical agreement.
Yeah, we know, James. We know you're messing around.
No, I'm just explaining, things too, because there are people on here that are just not reptile keepers and they don't have snakes. And it's, stuff that goes on with the hobby that they're not familiar with. And you just hear horror stories. Some people just flat out won't do breeder agreements. I won't do them. Other than here, I won't do them. I think it's too convoluted. And unless you're really good and you got a legal eye and you can write it all on a document and everybody's going to sign it, and then you trust the person to the nth degree on top of that, like, I don't know, you can ruin relationships. There's, a ton of things that can go wrong with that. And I'd rather just keep my friends. And even if that means I can't get that perfect animal to really amp my stuff up, whatever, I'll get there eventually. And if it means it takes me, another 5 years in the long run, I'd rather have, that person, that relationship in my life than to have some kind of animosity and, over something stupid as a snake, right? At the end of the day. So, I don't know. My 2 cents. But 5 Enchis. And
there's the normal.
Yeah, the normal.
There's the crazy Enchi.
Yeah, blushing all over the place. And again, the thing in the mix here is a 50% het for lav on some of these. This one's got good flames and blushing.
50% for SK, not lav.
SK, right? They're all.
They're 100% lav.
Yeah, not too much blushing there.
Yeah.
Head looks really good.
That's the other normal, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the Enchi. This is the only one that looks like it has a little bit of egg yolk there. So.
Yeah. That was the normal right there. There it is.
Yeah, that's a normal, but that one's, they still look good.
Yeah.
I don't know did that come out right? There's a lot of color there, though, for a normal.
Yeah, definitely a lot of head influence.
And then another Enchi.
Yeah.
So 7 eggs, 5 Enchis, 2 normals, and it's an Enchi clown to a lavender het SK Xanthic. So everything is double het and a chance
to be triples.
To be triples, yeah. So I'm gonna keep a boy and a girl. I got 5 chances. Dude, what would be the odds of 5 boys or 5 girls?
I know you've had it happen before.
I know. I've had whole clutches of the same gene, so it's just rare. But...
Yeah, because like last year with him producing the mini clutch, everything was all female, but he hit pieds and ivories like mad. This year, didn't really get any pieds or no pieds.
And 12 egg clutch. So
it was all females.
The same male that
did the ivory,
the mini clutch, went to hit the big black pastel girl from this season that did the Kelly stuff. She produced 12 eggs last year. In that clutch, was also all females. So we had a clutch of 9 eggs, all girls, and a clutch of 12 eggs, all girls. And there was one more. No, in the pastel banana it wasn't volumes, but there was 5 eggs and they were all female too.
Yeah.
Even though there were only two bananas.
Right.
The non-visuals were also females, which is like
rare
because bananas are
sex linked.
Sex linked. So a female can produce. I guess that's about the only normal breeding is with the females because they can produce either or on anything. And the males are either a male maker, so anything that shows up banana from a male maker is male, at least 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if that male is produced from a female, it's a female maker 90% of the time. So it was the craziest thing. I literally had to sex everything 7 times because I couldn't believe what was happening when it was happening. But
right.
Those 3 clutches last year were all girls, which was crazy.
Right.
And I don't think I've had one that was all boys.
Yeah, one was close. I think it was like all boys except for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah. Yep. Exciting. Not a lot to look at like last night or some of the other clutches.
But it's a project builder.
Yeah, but this is a down the road thing for sure. Dude, you were saying normal, but like golly. Like
it's got a lot of color.
The yellow. Look at those 2.
Yeah, like this one is. Even that one's got some, like not as good as color, but
the color. It has like a weird pattern going on, but it doesn't have the color. This one,
that one definitely has color.
Definitely has like a lot of yellow, which I guess could be the
heck.
And it really doesn't look empty.
Well, that's kind of like the puzzle clutch. I have that really bright normal, and then I have like the other 2 that are just dark.
Yeah. And again, that may be the difference here if these are normals with the Xanthic in the background.
Right.
Yeah, who knows? Cool. Well, that's really all I got. I'm trying to make stuff up to keep everybody interested. So if you guys got questions, absolutely post it down there, and we'll try to get to them. And
Yeah, James said, I just had a weird banana clutch. All boys, but 1, 2 bananas, 3 non-bananas, only 1 female.
wow, yeah, yeah, that's real strange from a male banana.
Was it a male banana or female banana?
I'm gonna guess female banana.
Yeah, because if you only had 1 female. Which would make it weird.
Well, the females are the only ones
that
that
do
really can kind of produce both. If it's a male that produced that, that is definitely interesting.
It's a male maker.
A male maker that produced well, and you had two visual
Weird
males.
banana clutch. All boys, but 1.
Read it again.
I just had a weird banana clutch. All boys, but 1, 2 banana, 3 non-banana, 1. Can you retype that, James?
3 non-bananas, 2 bananas.
It says 1, 2 banana. That's what's confusing me.
Yeah, but so 2 bananas, 3 non-bananas,
And only 1 female.
and 1 female. So not terribly odd, at least from my opinion,
Yeah.
because there's a 10% chance that a male, can throw something off.
1 banana spider and 1 banana. So 1 banana spider, 1 banana, and 3 spiders.
And
And
the female was a banana or non-banana? Yeah, it's
the one spider was a female. So
the spider banana was a female. So that's your 10%. I mean, in general, like most of the bananas that a male maker is going to throw will be males, but there is a chance that you'll get a female once in a while. So, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah, it's
getting warm up here.
It's toasty. Although it ain't really too toasty.
It's like what, 85?
It's 80.
80.
We're just used to it being like,
70.
75 the past couple days, because it has been a lot hotter up here before. But yeah, there you have it. Like 5 Enchis and 2 normals. I said normals. 5 Enchis and 2 normals.
I have you guys all confused. My bad.
Uh-huh.
He says I have you guys all confused. My bad.
Nah, that's right. It's worth a little chit chat. So, yeah, the next clutch that we are going to cut will be on Friday, and that's my happy clutch. So it's my Resurrection Gene male that went to a cinnamon spider that I got from Ben Rennick some time ago. So that ought to be pretty interesting. You guys will definitely be able to see the cutting and see the impact, hopefully, of that male. I really want to see him involved in both of those genes or a combo of all 3. That'd be great. But, we'll see what the odds give us and what that looks like. But that'll be exciting for sure because it's something that was started to be worked with, as most of them are. And there's really only documented pictures of a couple pairings with this gene in it. So it'll be awesome. And then next season, we're going to have probably in the neighborhood of like 5 or 6 pairings with that same gene. So you'll be able to go through the journey even next season and see, a fair amount of those combos if all those girls go. So that'll be really cool.
Yep. Yeah, so we got that one Friday, and then it'll probably about 12 days or so before our next cutting. So it'll be from Friday, so like that following Tuesday. So not next Friday, but the following Tuesday.
Well, when we do the other cutting, we'll do all the finite math or where we're at, and,
right? And
we'll let you know where that next one comes. But yeah, it's a little stretch after the next one, and then
It's another stretch.
And then it's another little stretch, and then another little stretch. And then hopefully we got a few more girls that are going to drop some more stuff for us. We got one that was at about 28, 30 millimeters. And so she should go. I can't imagine she'd reabsorb at that point, but it's entirely possible. And then I have two more that are around 20 millimeters the last time we measured them about 2 weeks ago. And then two other ones that are at about 15. So those four have still had locks this month. Oh no, last month at this point. So those were still back in August. There's a couple that I'm not going to do anything with. If they go, they go. But there's a couple that the male doesn't have really big tasks for next season. So I'm going to keep at those, and we'll see what happens. And yeah, so who knows? You know, one more clutch this season, maybe 2, 3, 4 more. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Again, everybody, I really appreciate the time you've taken out of your schedule tonight, Tuesday night, middle of the week almost, to spend a little bit of time with us. And yeah, thank you very much. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace. It was good to be on this side.
I know, right?
I haven't been on this side in a while.
You'll be on it for this one and the next one.
Yeah.
All right, y'all take care.
All right, y'all.